Believe in taking adventures. Only then do we feel most alive. In a world filled with constant motion, confusion, and distractions, I found myself yearning for a constant that would make me feel content. Leaving home was only the first step in this journey. Once at my new destination, I couldn't have felt more out of place. There were many days spent in solitude, yet the kind that really makes you feel alone. The doubt kicked in. Should I return to the comfort of what I know as home? Did I even make the right decision? Only time would tell. I went out of my way into many levels of discomfort, simply to make myself at rest. Many days now spent venturing out into this new land. Into the mountains, into the wilderness, into the wild. I found calm among the motion, peace among the confusion, and a wholesome release from the distractions. For the first time since the start of my journey, I thought, I am at rest. These places brought me something indescribable with just words. Being there, living in the moment, breathing in the fresh air, and not letting a second pass where I was not gracious for what was right in front of me, what was literally my backyard. I found liberty in traveling alone. For the first time in my life, being solitary came with ease and made me content. There is something about the self-sufficiency these adventures require that makes me feel alive. If there is a want or a need, the responsibility to fill it is my own. The solitude I was now feeling was far from the void and loneliness I had within me previously. This solitude was happiness, and this happiness fulfilled me. It was at this point in time I found a true and gratifying meaning of the word content. The thought of what once unsettled me was slowly becoming what I now crave. Solitude, adventure, the unknown. Every choice now made was simply for me. I suddenly learned that a life lived to the fullest consists of some selfishness, and I was surprisingly okay with this. It was okay for all of this to be for me. While out, the days were mostly short and at times very cold, the sunlight only peeking about for a brief hello. And here I was, pushing my limits in this wild place to see what I was actually capable of. After all, we must take adventures in order to know where we truly belong. The nights would come quick, leaving only dancing stars above me, and it were these moments that seemed to be beyond words. It was here I could let my mind roam free, collect my thoughts, or just be at ease within these lasting hours and enjoy the passing and going of this life. Through this life, I've spent much time focusing on what will be, what wasn't, or simply why. Just as much as the next person in line, I've had my fair share of happiness, joy, pain, and anguish. I kept to myself during the worst times, built up what seemed like never-ending doubt, feared being alone, and worried I would never know the feeling of true accomplishment. It has only been until relatively recent, once I started embarking on these solo adventures, attempting to find myself, or at least learn about myself, that the previous feelings and thoughts of gloom slowly started to dissipate. I had been told many times through my life that in order to love another, we must first love ourselves, the concept of which seemed too far-fetched for me to grasp. However, in this time, I also learned that in order for love of any kind to exist, we need knowledge, to be conscious of who we are as individuals, and to know and learn what we truly enjoy in life. This was key for me. Through every minute, hour, day, and sometimes multiple nights spent on these adventures, I became me. A steady and ongoing process, however one that is irreplaceable and unique. I initially set out to simply explore and be involved in what I already knew made me happy, but never expected such a great gain in return. The ability to be free and truly live in the moment, putting myself in places that set me back to a more primitive state, allowing me to see that with just a few basic things at my side, I am content. I can look beyond the constant motion of the modern world, look past any common ideals often put onto us to exist, and appreciate my weaknesses. Being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It means that you've decided to look beyond the imperfections. And these flawed details are the beautifully blemished collateral of a life lived to the fullest.